Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host AMF1534 here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo, the ultimate driving simulator. And in the last installment, we finally started up the Clash of the World Powers. I could have gone with World War III there, but that just sounds so much more like dramatic and destructive and bloody. Whereas at least the Clash of the World Powers sounds more like something that you'd hear on like an advertisement for like a pay-per-view boxing match, or just any type of competition that doesn't result in somebody dying at the end. So it seems a little more appropriate. So it's the United States versus Japan in this one, and we took the side of the Japanese with the Chaser LM edition, and we're doing really well after a few races, being ahead 21 to 18 to 15 to 12 to 6 to 3 with 2 races to go. So all we have to do is keep up the winning trend, and we'll take home the prize, because if we don't, we're going to lose, and we're going to have to do the entire thing over again. And I know that you guys don't want to have to watch that just as bad as I don't want to have to play through it again. So let's get the damn thing done. I'm really excited / anxious to see how this video is going to turn out, because we're going to do things a little bit different tonight. And not in terms of how we play the game, that's going to remain the same, but the way that we film the gameplay is going to be different, and that's what makes me nervous. For the last 4 years and change, I've been using Fraps as my go-to program to film all of my stuff, ranging from PC games to anything on an emulator, which has been most of it. And it's been a really wild success for me. Like, I've loved the time that I've spent using Fraps. It was such a massive upgrade in comparison to what I was using before that, which we're not going to get too far into that, because that's just one of those moments when you look at it now, it's like, what in the hell were you doing with that shit, man? Good God. But, so yeah, I've been using Fraps for virtually everything, but for some reason last night it totally hit me, just like out of nowhere, just like a sack of coal in the face. I don't even know what spurred my interest in looking into it, but it just did. Ever since I bought my new computer a few months ago, it never occurred to me that I could totally take advantage of NVIDIA's Shadowplay program, which, if you don't know what that is, it's very similar to Fraps in how it films gameplay, but the big advantage is that it is so much more efficient in how it goes about doing it in virtually every stage. Like, the main thing is the file sizes are so much smaller. It is so much less resource intensive, which has been the huge gripe on Fraps for years. And the other thing is that it is just so much better at doing it, and it has customization options that are great. Like, you can actually, you can film things in different resolutions. Like, I was looking at the settings, and you can actually film things in, like, 4K caliber resolution, which is awesome. At 60 frames per second, by the way. Virtually what I've been doing this entire time with Fraps is I've been filming things in 30 frames per second in an attempt to keep the file size down, and they ended up being massive anyway, so it didn't really matter. But with this, I can film things at the highest settings on 60 frames per second, and it works like a dream. It is so beautiful. I did some testing last night on this, on Gran Turismo, on the same track, which explains why I'm doing so well. And dude, it was amazing. There were no hang-ups whatsoever. And I don't know if you guys can tell the difference between the footage here and what I've been doing in the other 16 or 17 episodes, but when I started filming, I noticed it right away. Like, it was such a stark difference in how it just everything looked and was. And the best part is, I can film 20 minutes of this footage all in one file, and the size of the file is 7.5 gigs, which compared to what I would get out of an average Fraps project, dude, I can't even tell you the difference, but I'm going to. The best way to compare it was when I did my Half-Life 2 series. I just got done with it just like a couple months ago, or no, actually probably like a month ago, and when I was filming that, I did it at 60 frames per second on Fraps, which was a giant mistake, by the way. It would film 3.5 gig segments that were probably no longer than just about 50 seconds to a minute. 50 seconds for 3.5 gigs. That is a bona fide nightmare. And you guys saw, like, some of the last episodes of that series were like 30 minutes long, so I had to put when I was like editing those things and putting all the pieces together, I had like 30 files that I had to throw in there, and it would just take so much longer. Oh my god. It was just like, it was a stage of hell that nobody wants to get into, man. It was like the stage of hell that like Hitler and Stalin and Oprah and Bill Cosby and Jared from Subway, that's like the people that are gonna be in there. Which, dude, Jared from Subway, you can't be doing that, man. It's hey kids, I'm the Subway guy, come on over to my house and I'll cram an entire foot-long piece of bread in your ass. It's just, oh god, I know, too soon to be making that joke, but I had to do it. But dude, yeah, so I wasted so many extra hours having to put all of those things together and then having to render them down with file sizes that were just monstrous. Oh, I could have saved so much heartache on all that bullshit. So, if this actually works out the way that I'm hoping, we are going to be in business. This is going to make things so much easier on my life. So, fingers crossed, man. I got my toes crossed because, you know, playing a game like this with my fingers crossed would be a terrible idea. It's already hard enough to drive with my hands not in tied positions like that. So, next session, the finale of this championship. Let's get down to the stuff, because I know where this is going. We're headed right into the buzzsaw, man. Special stage R11. It's like, oh, you think you're winning? You thought you had the advantage of 6 points? Well, guess what? I'm gonna ruin your Christmas. You thought that you were gonna get just nice, wonderfully presented square boxes with your present inside, with all the cool wrapping paper and the things and all that? Well, guess what? It ain't going down like that at all, sonny. I am going to give you just a burlap sack full of rocks out of my backyard. You're not even cool enough to get just to get the sack of coal. You're going one step further the wrong way. So all I can hope for here is, I don't even think I'm going to win this one. I've got a bad feeling that because we're driving a car like this, that we're going to spin out at least like 3 times. I'm hoping to God that we don't, but I think that it was a miracle that we got through the license test with that Dodge Viper in here. I really honestly do. And now that we're driving with a car with way more power, it's gonna get ugly at certain points. The thing that does help is that if we in fact end up doing that, this race is long enough that we may be able to pull ourselves out of it, but I would much rather not have to do that in the first place and, you know, just come out and win. Or at least, you know, finish in a respectable place that will give us the trophy. Oh god, oh boy. Okay, there we go. So the only thing I'm trying to adjust to right now is playing this game in full screen mode. I've actually, whenever I've been playing games on Fraps, I had it in windowed mode on like an 800 by 600 resolution. And so I've been so accustomed to playing things on a smaller screen pretty much the entire time, which not like that's been a bad thing. Like I actually was perfectly okay with it, because if I needed to in certain situations, I could have like a browser window up and I could kind of like look things up on walkthroughs, and I could have it all right there, and so it'd be like a seamless thing to work with. But here, it's so weird playing on on a bigger display, and so it's kind of throwing me off a little bit trying to get used to that. But I'll get there. It's actually kind of nice in a way. So, oh, okay, yeah, now that I'm done oozing about how awesome Shadowplay is, I can tell you about this story time that it's actually really funny. So, I read this article today that, dude, this has got to be one of the more awkward job interviews that a guy did, or just like the entire process itself was so weird. So, this guy in Seattle, apparently what happened is he was applying for a job. They didn't specify where it was at, but my guess is that it was going to be at like some sort of like office building. And so when he was in the interview, he was talking with people and all that, and somewhere along the lines he was talking to like the HR director, the human resources person, and somehow during that exchange she had apparently told him, like she apparently provided him with her phone number, and she told him to text her a picture of him naked. And so, and I don't know whether that was true or not, or if, you know, if, or whatever. That's what it said in the article, so whatever. I assume that's how it would be. And that just seems like a really weird thing to have happen in a job interview. Whatever. So within the next day, he did that. And so that was that. But the day after that, he sent, the HR director got another text from this guy, and he apparently had sent another one. And that, I guess, was stepping way over the boundary, because right as soon as that happened, she ended up contacting the cops, and for like a harassment thing, I guess. Certain parts of that article are a little bit fuzzy for me. But apparently, doing that again was he had gone too far, I guess, and so they ended up like terminating his application to work there. And when they questioned him about it, he said that it was actually intended for somebody else, and he accidentally sent it to that person. And so he's just like, I'm really sorry. That's not really where it meant to go. But it's, how awkward is that? It's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I meant to send my picture of my schlong on my bathroom counter to somebody else, but instead, to the people that were potentially going to be my employers, well, you got it instead. So hey, can I get this thing? Like, for the first picture, that's such a weird situation altogether. Like, that would even be a thing that even takes place. Like, well, you know, I'm going to be working in the warehousing area, but hey, do you think that that me and my package are going to be good enough for your business or what? You know. So whoa, hey, well, that guy lost. He got crammed back there. That's never a good thing. So, yeah, I just thought like that whole thing was really bizarre to read in general. Just like the fact that an HR director would give out their cell phone number to a potential employee that they haven't even hired yet, and that they would tell them to contact them for any reason before they've actually been hired. I thought it was really strange. And then that she'd actually requested a picture like that. And then like doing it again, even though, yeah, sure, maybe it's kind of weird to send multiples of those, but just the fact that it even happened at all, like my whole mind was just kind of really uncomfortable with reading that for some reason. So, oh no, don't mess it up right now, man, no! How is that Viper, how did he come back, man? I slammed him into like the divider thing. There should be no reason that he was able to come back from that and win the race. How weird. Oh well, that's okay. We won the thing anyways, despite the fact that I melted down in that last lap again. But hey, it's cool. The championship is ours. We are the victor. So let's freaking do it. We won 34-30. And it is all ours for the taking. Oh, another thing that was really funny, actually. So when I got home from work tonight, we were watching Wheel of Fortune, actually. It was already on, and they were already like way through it. And one lady, she had like 16,000 bucks, and the other guy had like 14,000 bucks, and this girl on the right, she had nothing. And she was actually like really hot too. She was really cute, and her name was Mindy. And she just had nothing. Like I was watching the puzzle that she was doing, and she like dominated the whole thing. She was doing really well, and she was like 1 or 2 letters away from like having it figured out so she could answer it. And she ended up getting a lose a turn thing, and then the lady right after that, she spun and she got 1 letter and solved it and won that puzzle. And I felt so bad for her because I feel like that's probably how it went the whole time. And so they finally got to the last puzzle. And I was like, oh god, I just want her to win something. Like, I hate when people don't win any money, especially like her. But when she was in that puzzle that she lost, when she hit the lose a turn thing, I didn't actually hear her say it, but I think that like she muttered something under her breath. I think she said like shit or fuck or something like that, because he's like, oh, looks like something like, oh no, you lost a turn, and then as he was saying, you know, over to you, the other lady, he's like, and watch your language, by the way, young lady. And I was like, wait a minute, did she like totally swear? And I guess that she did. They obviously, they wouldn't have bleeped it out or anything because it wasn't like loud enough for anybody like in the audience to hear it. But Pat totally heard it, and he's like, hey, watch your language, young lady. Dude, it was so funny. But it came to that the last thing where like each person guesses a letter and they try to solve the puzzle, and it came around to her, and they did like 2 rounds of it, and it was at a point where like everybody should have known what the puzzle answer was, but the guy right before her couldn't figure it out. And as soon as I heard her say M, I was like, oh my god, she's gonna get it, she knows what it is. And then she answered it and got it, and I was like so happy. I was like way more happy for her that she actually just won some money at all. More happy than the lady that actually won the competition and then got the special puzzle and won that. I don't know, I love when people are able to actually, when everybody gets money, especially like somebody that's totally down on their luck the whole time and they just like magically come away with it at the end. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard Pat say that to anybody. It was just really, really weird. Okay, let's check out the garage real quick. Ooh. Ah, look at that! It doesn't have as much horsepower as the one we're using, but it is cool looking. I love the FTO, man. It's a really cool car. I really like that thing. But we're definitely going to stick with our guns on this one and keep that chaser rolling. Because when we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Gran Turismo, the ultimate driving simulator, it is going to be UK versus Japan. So we're going to take that thing right back in there and give it another round and see if we can come away with another trophy. So until then, my friends, this is your host AMF1534 saying thank you guys for watching, and look forward to more Shadowplay based videos in the future, because I think this is going to be a really, really cool thing going forward. What the hell's going on out here? There's like a bunch of fighter jets going by or something, dude. This is weird. Can you guys... I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it is really loud. Like, they're right overhead right now. That's so crazy. Okay, well, now that I've diverted enough away from this enough, I will catch you guys in the next episode, everybody. Thanks for stopping by and watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody.